You know what's real crazy, YouTubers, is social services can put a charge on you without even going to court, without even fighting for it in court. Let me tell you a little story that happened to me a few years ago. So I was living in Newport News, Denby. I was living off of Monroe. And I had a 3 bedroom house there, a den, a nice backyard. It was beautiful. It was great for me and the kids. Well, before I moved into this place, uh, there was a kitchen fire, and my cousin had already moved into a new home, and she was still paying the rent there. And she had already got this new place because she ain't want to deal with this shit. So I told her that I would move in, that I would eventually try to fix up the place. Well, the rent was $750, which was cool because it was in a good neighborhood, rich next school zone, elementary school, and it was great. You know what I'm saying? So, unfortunately, I didn't realize that people were calling the city on my house because of the fire that was inside the house. There won't no damage on the outside of the house. It was a kitchen fire, maybe like a oil fire or something like that, because they had already took up the floor and shit that was down there. So we were making do with the floor how it was, but I didn't like buy anything to put on the floor. The only thing I did was like buy one of those large rugs until we could fix the issue. You know what I'm saying? The rent was so cheap with 7 kids. And I mean, at the time we had 6 kids. So with the 6 kids and that one house, like, I didn't want the landlord going all crazy. And like I said, I was leasing it off of my cousin. So at this time, like, I didn't even speak to the landlord until months later. So I guess the city keeps getting called on the house, and the landlord tells me, hey, if you can find somewhere to live for 3 months, just 90 days, I can have somebody come in, fix the kitchen up. He did tell me that rent was going to go up about $100, but I was like, hey, if you're going to fix this stuff, man, that's cool, whatever. All right. So we moved into my sister's house, which was like a 2 bedroom little fucking house off of Warwick Boulevard in Newport News. So the first night that we're there, her pit bull, like, nicked my son right here. Got 5 stitches, okay? Nicked him. Took him to the hospital. He got treated, got home. Everything was fine, okay? The next day, the very next day, all right, I told my sister, keep that dog locked up. If my kids are out running around, keep the dog locked up, or tell me and I'll handle my kids. Well, I was tired because I just had a baby or whatever, Valentino. And I took a nap because I was up with him all night. So I asked my sister, hey, can I take a nap and you watch the kids while I sleep, you know? I'm telling you, like, as soon as I laid my head down, she was screaming. I jumped up. Sebastian's face I mean, they cut him from here to here. His cheek, what I had to hold his cheek. It was horrible. I didn't even call the paramedics. I drove him to the hospital. Okay. So what happened from there, I went to Riverside initially, and they transferred me to CHKD in Newport News. I mean, CHKD in Norfolk. So we were there for about 8 hours before plastic surgeon came in and stitched them all up. Well, he had to have 2 plastic surgeries, and at that time, nothing happened. Okay, dog bite. We put the dog down. He bit 2 of my kids. Dog had to go. Okay. So they put the dog down. All right. The SPCA did. They came, and it took him 3 days before they could euthanize the dog. So that happened. And then I'll say about a month later, my sister had an annual I guess inspection at the house, at her work, and she gave her boss some bad reviews. Well, he got fired for it. Yeah, he got fired. So he called CPS on me. So CPS came to the house and was like, well, we're going to have to charge you with one of the dog bites. We can't, you know what I'm saying, excuse both of them. So at first they were trying to charge me and Juan, but Sebastian, that's not biologically his father. So they only charged me. And I thought it was crazy because like I wasn't even watching my kids at the time. Even my sister told the social worker, she was watching the kids. I was taking a nap. Like I told her to leave the fucking dogs in the kennel. And I mean, she let him out and he fucking ripped my son's face off. So me and her kept getting into arguments about it. Like she was upset because she had to put her dog down, and I was upset because two of my sons got bit. So I went to an attorney and I spoke to an attorney, and Zion, he got $5,000 awarded to him. And before all this happened or whatever, them being put in foster care, Sebastian was awarded $148,000. So on that note, I really don't know how social services can charge me with child neglect when I was taking a fucking nap. I gave somebody else, permission to take care of my children, and this is what happened. It ain't like we told the dog to bite my fucking kids and for this to happen. I mean, shit. After that day, man, I went and took a loan out on my truck. I went to Mercury Property Management. I made a deal arrangement with them because I rented from them in the past before my brother died. And I was in a new home, dude, because I couldn't wait on my landlord anymore. Like, it's like one horrible fucking disaster after the next, man. But I just kept rolling with the punches. Everything that was happening in my life, I had to endure it. I had to suffer with it. I was pissed off. I was like, damn, my son, what if he never gets a good girlfriend? Like, look at him. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. My son is very handsome. All my kids are very good looking. But I'm just saying, like, I was worried about my child, dude. Like, point blank, period. And he did have 2 plastic surgeries, and he looks good. Now, he's older, and it's a light scar, and he looks fantastic, man. Like, it's bullshit, dude. I didn't want a dog to attack 2 of my kids. I didn't want my baby to drown in the tub because I was getting ready for work. Like, do y'all see what's happening? Like, what the fuck, dude? And there's parents out here that are fucking killing their kids and putting them in washer and dryers and shit. I'm sitting here trying to fucking resuscitate my kids. I'm sitting here trying to bring my kids back to life. I'm sitting here trying to fucking do everything that I'm supposed to as a human to make sure that these kids are able and in function. Is it my problem that fucking shit keeps being thrown my way? All I can do is handle the punches and keep on taking more, man. That's all I can do. Shit, the house, they wanted me out the house. I moved in somewhere else. Fucking, the dog bit my fucking kids. I took a loan out on my truck to get another fucking house. Like, I'm fucking trying. There's people out here that don't care, that don't give a fuck. I'm not one of those parents. And it kills me that they're trying to judge Juan so hard. And it's like the only thing that he did, yeah, it was a stupid fucking thing. He left the baby in the fucking tub. His own son. He had to take his own son out of the fucking tub, dude. Like, I feel bad for him. Y'all can think or do or say whatever you want, but I feel horrible for that man, yo. Because at the end of the day, he knows it's his fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's my fault too. It's my fault too. It's my fault. I mean, I didn't have to work. I was working to fucking try to get us a vacation. I was working to try to get us ahead. Like, I mean, I was on food stamps. I was on TANF. When I get a check, like, we were straight. Like, I didn't have to work. But I wanted more. I wanted better. I didn't want to be some sourpuss ass welfare mommy for the rest of my life, dude. I wanted more for my kids. I wanted more. I wanted the best out of the best. And social services didn't help. They didn't help. Did they pay 6 months of my rent like they do some of these other fucking parents out here? No. Let me tell you about the rent situation. So I asked social services to help me pay for rent because they wouldn't help pay for Juan's immigration. And in case any of y'all ain't familiar with immigration, it costs about $500 and then another $100 for an application fee. So that's like $600 plus a photo they want you to have and plus the appointments that they want you to take to Norfolk. All that's gas money. All that shit costs. So that's a whole fucking check right there. So yeah, I had to ask social services for a little bit of help. But did they pay 6 months of my fucking rent? So maybe I could have hired an attorney? They know damn well if they would have paid 6 months of my rent and utilities, I would have hired a fucking attorney on their asses. Point blank, period. And that's the truth. Oh, God. I'm like, I'm frustrated because it's like I'm talking to myself throughout these videos. I'm arguing with one particular guy that keeps commenting on all my posts, which is cool. You're interested in my life. That's fantastic. But it's like, bro, you're not even fucking helping me out because at the end of the day, yeah, Juan's schizophrenic, but a doctor didn't go in front of a judge and said Juan needs to be on medication in order to parent his kids because he was doing it for 4 years before social services stepped in our life. So, that's awfully funny. And then when I asked social services for the DSS report, for the CPS report on my kids, they say some shit like, your parental rights have been taken. We can't tell you what's on your report. And it's like, why the fuck not? Why can't you? So I asked for a report on my brother and they told me no because he's deceased. He is fucking dead. He is dead. Why can't I have his report? You know I'm his last living kin. His parents are dead. Like, what the fuck? Social services do what social services wants to do. And I'm going to rant and rave and make fucking plenty of YouTube videos until somebody hears me. You heard? I mean, seriously, this is... Look. It's bullshit, dude. Every day, me being without the kids is straight and total bullshit. Okay? Social services shouldn't come into your life and dictate who you have around. If it's a sex offender, sure. But let me tell you something about sex offenders, okay? Sex offenders have rights. Some sex offenders get custody of their children. So, while y'all are out here in YouTube land and probably don't have a fucking clue on life, if a registered sex offender can have parental rights of their child, then a person with schizophrenia should have parental rights of their child too. I'm sorry. Unless a doctor says otherwise. Unless a medical professional has said otherwise. But who's going to do that? Huh? Who's going to do that? Is there going to be a doctor on trial the next time that DSS is paying for? Huh? That the department has been paying for? Let's get real, man. They've been working with the same agencies and the same programs since I was a kid, dude. The same crackheads from 98 is still on the same shit in 2019. And that's the fucking truth. Still going to Salters Creek to get a fucking hair follicle test. Yes. I mean, come on, man. They know where their budgeting is. They know what the fuck they're doing. This is the same judges and lawyers and social workers that see each other on a daily basis. They got each other on their Facebook pages. Get fucking real. Hang out in the same social light. Get real. It's us people against these motherfuckers. And to think, I was in fucking college trying to be a fucking social worker, dude. During this motherfucking time, thinking that I could better the next one. Because let me tell you, most foster kids, when they age out, there's two routes. You either fucking hit the drugs, hit the streets, and you're fucking out, or you want to make a difference. I was one of those kids that wants to make a difference. I still want to make a difference, but I want to make a difference with my household first, dude. You spend so much time thinking about other people's shit. You need to think about you. And I'm thinking about me right now, baby. And let me tell you what I want. And I want my motherfucking kids. And I want an apology from the motherfucking state. They had no right taking my kids. And they had no right shooting my motherfucking brother like that. Point blank, period. Okay? Think about if it was you. Think about if it was you. And if you don't like that scenario, think about if it was your mama. Think about if your daddy had schizophrenia and your mama did everything, bent over backwards, was going to school, was going to work, did everything fucking humanly possible for your ass and you not allowed to see your mama. Yeah, I bet you be fucking pissed. I mean, me just thinking about it, I get hot. I get mad. You know? Like, and it frustrates me when these parents out here that get to see they fucking babies, get to see those precious kids, and they hurt them. How can you hurt your baby that grew inside your stomach, that nursed from your breast, that bonded with your skin, flesh of your flesh, blood of my blood? How can they do that? I wouldn't be fighting so passionately if I ain't give a fuck about my kids, dude. And you know, that's the fucking real grimy thing, that, you know, these motherfuckers out here, they only use that against you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they be like, that's why you ain't got your kids. And I be thinking in the back of my head, you fucking dirty cunt. If only the purge was real. And we could have 12 hours to fuck some shit up. Alright? You know, they call me a ticking time bomb. Tick, 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 tick. A fucking ticking time bomb. After half the shit that's gone on in my life and I haven't gone off yet, I think my fuse is cut off, motherfuckers. Like, seriously. Like, I can't even fucking deal with this shit no more. I'm on a whole nother fucking level of bullshit. You hear me? Like, what is people thinking about, man? Like, I want shit to go better than what it was, man. And that's some real shit, Joe. That's some real shit. If I would have stayed here and sued the fucking state when they shot my fucking brother, I'd probably be millions deep. But I won't thinking like that, dog. Like, I was thinking my brother's shot. My brother is fucking dead. Like, he's never gonna walk up their stairs again. He's never gonna say, shut up, you stupid bitch. Like, he's never gonna talk to me again. Yeah. And I just think that is fucking crazy, man. How, like, let's take police shootings for an example. Most of the time, you got to be identified. Once the police shoot you, they didn't figure out who the fuck you are. All right, and then the fucking whoever the news people are in your city. Here's Daily Press. I know in Baltimore it's the Sun. They want to twist shit like, oh man, schizophrenic was carrying a baseball bat, fucking got lit up by 2 officers. That won't the fucking truth. That won't the truth. It was a man having a bad day, carrying a baseball bat, hitting some cars, and a police officer came up and shot him. Let's tell the fucking truth. Because let me tell you something. I got what the Daily Press says, and I got what an officer wrote. There's days where I want to question that officer. Like, bro, what was you thinking that night? Didn't you already shoot a man? And what kills me about the whole shooting and reading my brother's shit is they didn't check him for a pulse. You couldn't bend down for 2 motherfucking seconds and check him for a fucking pulse. He wasn't worth 2 seconds of your time. And then these officers start crying like, oh man, I discharged my weapon. My chief or whoever the fuck they is had to come and get my weapon. I think the police need more training. I think the Department of Social Services need more training. I really fucking do, man. You come into some poverty-ass fucking neighborhood thinking that you fucking the sheriff. That you can just do whatever the fuck you want because we poor and we can't say shit about it, yo. When is it going to be our time to speak? Because I'm tired of our brothers and sisters' blood being shed on these fucking streets. I look at it like this. The system already got themselves in a cycle, right? My brother's cycle played out. What happened with him? He was homeless when he graduated, and that's the truth. And he did the damn thing. He did everything humanly possible that he can do on his own. Okay? He fucking went to jail, and now he's in the grave. And it was all within the system. He was a foster child, locked behind bars, and then he became an adult, and he died. It was all a fucking cycle within the system. And I don't want that for my children. What I really don't want is that these fucking therapists and shit get in their heads and they documenting everything down. They writing down everything. If my children say they miss me or don't miss me, or if they got a stomach ache, or if they shitting blue, everything is being documented down. So that's going to alter their future. That's to me, that's limiting their jobs. That's doing a lot of fucking harm for these kids. It ain't helping them. It's not helping them get up out of what I wanted them to get up out of. And that's this shit, the streets. I wanted them to be a fucking equal. You know what I'm saying? I wanted them to be part of society. I didn't want their baby mamas to be on welfare and shit. I wanted them to be good men, respectable men, hardworking men. I wanted them to see that I didn't take the easy way out. That I fucking rocked it. And I did the damn thing. And social services took my shine, took my spotlight. And that's for real. Y'all want me to be nice about the shit? You want me to be nice? Social services took my fucking kids. I don't know what to say, dude. Every day I wake up, I think about what we would be doing today if they were home. And it's pissing me off, man. It's really pissing me off, man. And I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. Like, we're given one life, yo. One life. One opportunity at this shit. I didn't want what everybody else wanted. Materialistic shit. You know what I'm saying? Idolizing false gods and shit. I wanted to raise good men. Good men. Well respected. Loyal. Honest men. And I feel like all of their personalities are going to be different now. Because once you have tragedy in your life, no matter how big or small, it changes you. You can either learn from it or grow from it. Some people hate it. Some people enjoy it. I try to learn from everything possible. Although I got an attitude, don't get me wrong. I'm not Rose's baby. Come on now. But this whole shit is fucked up, man. And anybody that agrees with the system instead of agreeing with a mother that is and a father that's trying to raise their kids, like Juan said, he was wrong. Like, how many times does somebody want to hear that he made a mistake? How come other people get 3 strikes and you're out? He only got 1. Anyways, this whole video was about the dog bite, and I do apologize, but, you know, my mind goes 1,000 different places and all at once. I mean, it sucks, yo. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, we work every day to stay in this shitty ass fucking place, and we both hate it. We miss the laughs of our children. We really do. And people don't understand because they're not walking through it. It's not what they gotta fight for. It's something I gotta fight for. And I'll fight. And I'll keep on fighting and fighting and fighting. And Juan wants to be a parent too. He wants to be a part of these children's lives. Like, he loves them. And for some state or some worker to tell them that he can't be a father because he's schizophrenic, then let's line every sick individual up and just shoot them down. How about that? Then a lot of government agencies will be shut the fuck down, won't they? Yeah, they would be. But anyways, that's it for me. I know I got off a topic from the dog bite, but it's just like, why can't I have the men that I love in my life? I love 8 men. Why is that so wrong? To love my children and their father? I guess in a perfect world, you can have your cake and eat it too. But not when you pull. It's fucked up, man. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna end this shit.